what we're going to do is we are going to detect the emission of this new action here in our effect, and in response to it we are going to load the user threads from the backend. So let's implement that. Let's add here a new side effect. We are going to use the effect decorator and we are going to call it new user selected. So like any side effect, this will be an observable of action and it will be based on the actions observable. So we are going to filter all actions of the type that we are processing, which is the select user action. So let's retrieve from here the ID type. So it's select user action. We are going to say that whenever we receive an action of type select user action, what we're going to do here is we are going to load from the backend all the threads of this user. And so how do we do that? Well, the simplest thing to do is to trigger a new action of this type, of type load users action. First, let's add here a debugging statement. We're going to call it new user selected. So this is the message that will be logged in the console. And from here, we really simply only want to apply a mapping operator. What we want to do in this mapping operator is we want to take the current state of the store and we want to create a new action. So a new action of load user threads action. This is really what we want to create at this point. So let's quickly summarize. Our component is creating an action of type select user action. This triggers a reducer function that will store the current action in the store in memory. After that, this action also triggers a side effect, which is the triggering of a new action, a load user threads action. This new action then loads from the backend the threads of the current user and saves them back in the store. The way that the data is saved back in the store is by the triggering of a user threads loaded action. So at this point, the user threads are loaded. That's how the thread user data is saved in the store. So we can see here that this is an example of a chain of related actions. Select user triggers load user threads action, triggers user threads loaded action. Now, one thing that we don't have at this point is how will the backend identify what is the current user? Because so far we have been assuming that our user is user with ID 1 Alice. So let's quickly see how can we implement that in the backend.